Hey boys and girls, this is Ceawyn here with the DPS Cleric. I'm going to show you what I run, why I run it, and what works for me. So first off, let's get into the gear. Hood of the Spy Guild had to do an appearance change. The thing is ridiculous. You look like a clown's hat. Running glistening scales. See, if you look at my enchantments, I'm running some defense deflect. I want to have some defense stats. It's not just all about hit points. Especially with scaled content, you get scaled back, you don't have defense, you get mushed. That's the bottom line. Alright, crash guards. There are other pieces that I'm looking for, but I haven't gotten them yet. When they fall, I'll do some changes. Running the Alabaster set here. I do have a Holy Avenger enchantment. I switch back and forth between my DPS and my healing build, so you got to have some flexibility there. And I also have a Tenebrous enchantment slotted. That extra 20k damage here and there, it's pretty nice. Again, Alabaster set, running brutal. You're going to see a lot of power crit stuff here because when I switch to my healing build, and I'll explain that in the healer video, you want to have a pretty high crit, higher than the 68k cap that everybody's been talking about. All right, and then I managed to pick up the Trim Gators from Loam. I don't do a lot of roams on my loams on my DDC on my cleric here because it's a tertiary alt. All right, running the flowers is my main artifact. It's been working really good. Nice group buff, nice mob debuff, great for AOE stuff. I haven't really gone into the meta getting best in slot here and there. I'm still running the Mastercraft, neck and waist. I did pick up the Ebonized Rings. They're great for ranged powers. DC's powers are all ranged, so again, just trying to do what I can as I can. Rage for the Spies Guild, that comes right from the Ceawyn vendor in Yawning Portal, and the War Trousers of the Spies Guild. Again, critical strike, I get 10% chance to gain 25 AP. When you critically strike, your powers have a 10% chance to reduce your encounter power cooldowns. I shift around a lot. I try to stay out of the red, so that's what you end up with. Now, my tertiary alt, rank 14 bondings, Pearl Ring of the Companion from the campaign, Choke Chain from the campaign, and then I got the second Choke Chain from the campaign store. Definitely worth running. And again, you can see I'm running empowered rank 9s, rank 10s, 11s. I'm really not pushing that meta right now. This is a tertiary alt. Now my companion bonuses. I do have the Deep Crow Hatchling. I've got the Ghost. These are things that I had before the Mod 16 changes. My defense slot right now, I'm running a Defense Awareness companion. I'm running what I have, maximizing the benefit for me. I want to have defense and awareness from when I do scaled content, and then pushing combat advantage. I'm way over capped on critical strike right now. So just really the only reason that there is for the combat advantage. When I get other companions, they trickle down. We'll see what some changes. Alright, so my stats. I put everything into Constitution and Intelligence, and this is why. Intelligence is your magical damage boost. Now Constitution is your AP, so I wanted to be able to really pull some AP out, and it's nice having the additional hit points. A lot of people are running Intelligence and Charisma for the companion influence. Not a bad choice. It's all about what works for you. So, companion influence, recharge speed, these are, it's all about what works for you. Right now, I'm really comfortable and I'm happy with the Constitution and Intelligence. Alright, so there you go. My stats, 136k power. Armor pens over that 68k cap. Crit is way high. Part of that is because some of the gear, when I go to my healing build, just changes over for the loadout, and you want to have a high crit for crit heals. Accuracy also high. That drops down when I switch to my healing loadout because I change out one of the choke chains. The choke chains have a 5k accuracy on it, so that's a lot when you're talking companions. And then deflect is, I got my defense stats are 60, 58, 50k, even awareness is 52k. You really want to have some defense stats if you're going into the scaled combat. Alright, my combat advantage is at 108k. Really good stat. You want to make sure that you're really pushing your combat advantage up for DPS, for group content. A lot of people, when they're soloing, they'll use an active companion that attacks so they can get combat advantage as well. I don't like changing companions out. I'm kind of lazy, and I just run my Polar Bear Cub all the time. And there we go. So here we go. Oh, powers. Yes, sorry. There's my brain fart. So I run Lance of Faith and Conflagrate. Alright, and then my at-wills when I'm running for trash. I run Searing Javelin. That is my AoE directional attack. I run Forge Master's Flame for single target, and I run Break the Spirit. Break the Spirit. Alright, now dailies. I run Celestial Prominence. That's my AoE attack. And then I run, or my AoE daily, and then Hammer Fate's my single target daily. Regardless of my build, I always have expanded fate slotted, and then I have Doomslayer. So whenever you're using a counter power that inflicts a negative condition, you're increasing your damage by 10% for 10 seconds. And that negative condition is right here with Break the Spirit, as it increases the target's damage taken from magical and projectile attacks. So the mob's going to take 10% more damage from magic and projectile, and because it's a negative effect, I'm going to do 10% more damage. Alright, here come my feats. Piercing Javelin. At-wills have a 10% chance to create Piercing Javelin. Guarantees the Searing Javelin up here is going to have a critical strike. Awesome for AoEs. Tipping the Scales. Divine Glow. When I do run Divine Glow, I don't always, mind you, when I do run Divine Glow, it's nice to just pop that full stack of Burning Judgment or Divine Judgment. Sudden Verdict. 25% chance to instantly fill your Judgment gauge, which is great for increasing the damage of your attacks, or honestly just refilling your divinity. Critical Sun, when Celestial Prominence, this daily right here, when it crits, you get to cast it again. And then the final feat is Angel of Death. Honestly, the last feats suck. It takes 30 stacks to get Angel of Death to proc. It almost always procs after the fight is over, or when there's like one mob left. When you can manage to pull it off and time it to where it's going to be beneficial, it's kind of cool. You can cast like 4 or 5 of your spells with their regular cooldown that they have before it runs out without costing you divinity. So it's nice, but it's at the same time it's kind of crappy. It'd be really good if they would like pull it back to maybe a stack of 20 before it procs, because in my experience you're always done. So we're going to run through here. This is a Master Expedition. Got some trash mobs. It's got a single target mob at the end, so that's what we're going to do. So here you go. So right now you see I'm building up my divinity, so when I attack with Searing Javelin, it's going to do more damage. You want to fill up that bar before you use your encounter powers. Got this little Deathlock over here. Take her out, and there you saw Piercing Javelin just came up, and now all crits guaranteed. There you go. Deathlock's still there. Make sure I channel divinity after the fight before I go into more trash. I'm just looking for the relics here. All right, we got one relic. Got some more trash. See that Sudden Verdict proc, then my Javelin proc Sudden Verdict again. The channel divinity, you saw that big leap in my divinity pool. Alright, now I'm usually pretty lazy and I don't change up my powers a lot, but we're going to go to a single target power because we're going into this boss. So here, Geese is really nice. It deals radiant damage to the target enemy, decreases the target's damage dealt, and increases Burning Judgment by 1. 6 second duration, 19.3 second cooldown. It's okay for bosses. That 19.3 second cooldown sucks. Alright, Divine Glow reduces your threat, really good, increases your divinity generation. Divine Glow is phenomenal for the healing DC. Yeah, Prophecy of Doom, Predicted Demise, 10 seconds, 3% of most damage you deal to the target is stored and dealt at the end of the effect's duration. So I'm going to run Geese instead of Searing Javelin. It's single target, and I know that Searing Javelin will crit when we get Piercing Javelin, but in my experience, and I have tested this thoroughly, Forge Master's Flame does more damage for single target than a guaranteed crit from Searing Javelin. I've tested it multiple times. That's what I've come up with. Alright, so I'm going to load Geese, and we'll see how we do. Alright, here we go. Single target. I'm going to throw my doohickey, just because, you know, might as well take advantage of it while it's still good. There's Geese. Negative effect, hit for 103k. Gonna build up my charges. Now I'm gonna use my daily, and it's gonna hit much harder that first hit because it was fully charged. Send out my Rex. Debuff him. Channel that little bit of divinity. Geese again. Now remember, your crits are going to give you a chance to decrease your cooldown powers. Full bar. Hit my anvil. Sun and divinity. And there's a 200k crit. And that's it. That's basically your rotation. You want to watch your divinity, and when you use say you use your anvil, and I'm going to use my anvil here in just a second. All right, so here goes my anvil. I'm going to get a stack of radia. I'm going to channel divinity and pull that in right away. If it had procced and given me sudden verdict, I'd have fired off divine glow. But this is an easy mob. It's really not a tough fight. So there you go. There is the DPS DC. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them. And thanks for watching the video, guys.